You know, even though I'm technically homeless and I'm going from place to place, I was thinking just now, what makes me different than a lot of the other homeless people that I see on the streets? Most of them seem primarily white or fully Caucasian, and I bumped into, my fair share of African American or black homeless people, mostly men. And I've seen my share of Hispanic homeless, but lately not a whole lot. And so a lot of people ask for change, and there's a certain energy of sadness and desperation, and a sense that a lot of them have very little self-esteem. It's not very hard to imagine someone without a whole lot of self-esteem if they're homeless, especially when you feel like society has rejected you and you're so dirty and you don't have a phone and it's difficult to get a job. And right now we're in a day and age where it's more difficult than ever before to get a job. I'm in that situation myself. I can't even get a job lead still after all this time. But my spirits are strong. I've done a couple shows on Access TV, and speaking my truth, that's not only what I feel is my spiritual protection and armor from darkness and evil, but it's also what keeps me going. It's what invigorates me. It's what makes me feel alive. And I know that what I'm doing is unique, and a lot of people are offended by that. They're offended by the fact that I'm about to restart my Access TV show, or that I've done some of the things that I've done. And haters will hate. But what I know is that's who I am, and that's who I'll always be. And that's the person that you support or have supported, whether it's financially or just simply by supporting the message or watching the videos, continuing to watch over the years, whether I'm in studio or I'm speaking my truth in the middle of the desert, or I'm in the woods somewhere in Oregon, or if I'm in Dallas, Texas, as I was in 2012, the show, the information, the message will continue. As long as we have YouTube, as long as we have the internet, as long as we have the ability to speak and use our vocal cords, the message will continue. Even if the internet goes down and we have small circles of people that are sharing their knowledge and sharing their information and sharing what they've learned over these years, so we can empower each other and lift each other up. We need to be able to see what's going on. I'm going to the May Day protests with Mike Smith of Film the Police Portland, and there's going to be some major clashes between the anarchists and the Portland police, and I'm going to have a megaphone there, and when the time is right, and I'll know when that time is right, it's going to be in the heat of the moment when shit is going down, and they will be reminded of the bigger picture and how all this is all designed to divide us, left versus right, the people versus the police. Together we're in this, and even though we're out there filming the police and other things are going on, in no way am I trying to create more division. I'm trying to help everybody see. And at one point I'll be handing out documentaries to the Portland police when I make my documentary on China. And exactly why I suspect there's an end game being planned for America. Bring in foreign troops and occupy the west coast of the United States. Because nothing has changed. Things have only gotten more dangerous in this country. And I really have my eyes on what's going to be going down in the next decade. There's going to be a lot more people have that light bulb go off above their head as they start learning about a record number of acres being sold to China right now with the okay of our own government. You got to be really dumbed down in this society right now to not see what's actually going down. And what's going down is this country. And that's my message, along with so many other things, but most importantly, that you can make a difference, that you can reach people. And the problem with a lot of people that are on the streets now is they've lost hope. They've forgotten what it was like to be happy with who they are, regardless of whether society accepts them or not. And that's exactly what I've gone through. I've gone through that feeling of feeling rejected by this town and leaving with nothing but a pack in 2011. I know what it's like to go somewhere that you hate, like Dallas, Texas, to a dead-end job and to walk away from everything. Again, walk away from the apartment and get in my car and floor it. All I knew is that I was going north. And it was only a matter of time before I found the San Luis Valley of South Central Colorado and felt what few homeless feel. What it's like to be outside the cage of the city, or any city for that matter, and be in the desert for 10 months, surrounded by mesas, close to the Rio Grande River, in an area where the Anasazi and the Hopi spent time contemplating the nature of their reality then. Just how ironic it was that I happened to find San Luis Valley, just by putting out there to the universe, God Almighty, please help me, get me out of this dense population center. I want pure nature. I don't want it cut. I don't want it stepped on. I want the pure shit. I want pure nature. And that's what I got. And in that year, in that world, without running water, without power, without many neighbors, without much money, I put together the solar flare presentation. The slides that I did, that was all done out there off the grid. Using a solar panel, 22 watts, hooked up to an inverter, hooked up to a marine grade battery. I knew what I wanted to talk about, but I didn't yet have the slides ready before that period in spring 2013, and the solar flare started to get more active, and so did my inspiration. This is the time, I told myself, this is the time to put together a presentation and reach out to a few people in an attempt to take a break from the desert. And the rest is history. Synchronicity took place, and I ended up being a last-minute ad to the Free Your Mind Conference, thanks to Mark Passio of WhatOnEarthIsHappening.com. And now that video is online, and the information will be expanded. And I'm going to be doing another 1-hour presentation this summer on cable access. And even though I didn't make any money doing that, it's not about that. It's about putting out the information and reaping the benefits of what follows. And there's something very healing, and this is overlooked. There's something very healing about sharing information and ideas that are bulletproof, whose time has come, ideas that can unlock minds, unlock doors that were never unlocked before until now. It's really about the information. It's really about the knowledge. And also, a period of time came where I decided that it was time to leave. And I went to Kansas City, Missouri. And that had its ups and downs. But it was in Kansas City, Missouri, where literally almost overnight I made the decision. I'm coming back to Portland. With a home or without a home, with a job or without a job, with a girlfriend or without a girlfriend. I didn't play a game this time of I am entitled to X, Y, and Z. I made the decision to come back because this is where Portland Community Media is. And never have I been anywhere in this country where I have worked with anyone as talented to a certain degree as Bill Olson, who directed my show for several years, who's going to be directing the next version of Outside the Box TV, which, by the way, will be subject-based. We'll do a whole hour show on China, a whole hour show on solar flares, a whole hour show on what I've learned about self-sufficiency and living off the grid, a whole show about Portland's interesting past with the Shanghai tunnels and so much more, and how I believe what happened in the past influences behaviors today in that particular area where all that went down. There are so many info bombs, so to speak, that I'm going to be dropping in the form of these mini documentaries or these shows that focus and hone in and expand upon these very important topics that I've been talking about in my videos for years and years. So I can't make someone believe in themselves when I struggle to believe in myself. It's tough when you're homeless. It's tough when the time gets tough. When times get tough. But I know things happen for a reason, and everything I have been through has only made me stronger. We're at the intersection, by the way, of 39th and Southeast Steel. I'm on my way to the Woodstock area, where I'm going to be spending most of the day in the library working on videos. I have very little money in my pocket. I'm very hungry right now, but I'm going to find something to eat, and I'm going to treat myself to that something even though, I'm trying to cut back on expenses, and it's not easy to drive this vehicle. So I try to cut back on my driving, and I'm being hopeful, even though I've been rejected at 2 jobs so far. One was a diner, and the other was Salty's on Marine Drive. 3 interviews, and I still didn't make it through. Regardless of the racism sometimes that I think I've gone through, and the other judgment that's come because of the videos that I do, some people aren't comfortable with being associated with someone like me. But regardless of that, I'm seeing positive signs that are letting me know that this is a place that I should remain, that I shouldn't be going to California so fast to live in my vehicle somewhere else that I'm less familiar with. I'm very focused right now to get the show going at PCM TV by any means necessary, even if I have to continue to live in my vehicle for a period of time or go from somebody's house to back to the truck to somebody's house. Whatever it takes, I'm going to succeed. So it is my hope that through this experience that I will inspire others that are in challenging situations, but some of your situations may not be as challenging. And so hopefully I can be an inspiration to some people. If I can do it, so can you do it. So can you. If you believe in yourself. And a lot of this really does come down to belief. And that's where I'm applying my intention and focus now that I will succeed in my mission. With that, I want to thank you for watching. There's going to be many more videos coming out of my YouTube channel in the near future, including my appearance on Bill Olson's program. Also, I talked with Mike Spith, took some extra time out, and we were filming the police, to talk to him a little bit about how does he strategize, how does he plan out his video shoots, and other things that I think will help people understand that in a way it's necessary to film the police because of many of the things that have happened in the past. In particular, people that have been murdered by the Portland police, people like James Chassie. And that's not to say that we should be starting things with the police or trying to create problems for ourselves or them, but I do believe that we have to be watchful eyes and we have to use our eyes and ears to pay very close attention to what is going on in the streets of Portland. Okay, I'm a little distracted here at this intersection, so I will now bid you farewell. Thank you for watching.